about like the Ukrainian women are so family oriented and they are really nice compared to any other countries, you know. And I actually experience this here because the stories I heard about Ukrainian women are true for the factor I experienced the social on two cities, on Odessa and Kyiv. The thing is that the women are from their architectures, they are doctors, they are makeup artists, they are from different parts, and they are really serious to make a relation. And like for everybody, I recommend whoever want to have a serious family relation, you should come to Ukraine and meet these ladies.
Tell me about your experience on the social. In the first social, you were late.
Yes.
You had only 15 minutes of the social, but you managed to take, what, 16 numbers for that 15 minutes?
Yes. One of the thing, like, even if this is war situation, there's less guys and more ladies. They are wanting to get accustomed, or they wanted to meet a man. So they're like hurrying up. So it's a good sign that you have more dates, you get to know more girls, you know. And on the Kyiv, I managed to get more numbers and like more people on the dates. The ladies were nice. I was talking to them, you know. And over here, you get a good choice, so you can, you know, so you're not stuck with one person. Then you go back to US and you forgot, and so it's really difficult. You come back from US all the way to Ukraine just to meet 2 or 3 ladies. So my recommendation is like to meet many ladies and get to know them and choose your future wife.
Did you have correspondence with any girl before?
Like before, I didn't have correspondence, but I was talking to, you know, the Maria. But when I came here, I didn't have correspondence before. Yes.
So you prefer, what do you think is better? To write letters or to come to meet those girls right away?
For me, the best way is to come to meet the ladies here, so you can have the face-to-face conversation. You can meet them, how they look like. You can talk to them and get to know them more, you know, and develop into a serious relation. If you
How many dates you have today?
I have 3 dates today.
How many dates you had yesterday?
I had 3 dates yesterday.
And how are the ladies like? What do you...
like I said, it's like a normal meeting. I mean, like in the first 2 hours, 3 hours, you just exchange your basic ideas. Then from there, if both parties interested, you go further advance, and then that's how you get to know everywhere, you know.
Did you go to any other countries before?
No, I haven't gone. This is my first.
And why you decided to come to? Why you decided to come? Like you have friend or?
Yeah. I know a friend who is in Texas. He has been married to an Ukrainian lady for 15 years, and they have 2 kids. And he told me, if you want to meet, go meet good ladies, the quality, who prefers family. You should first go to Ukraine, because that's a place, you know, they are more elegant and, you know, family oriented and good culture like Europe, you know. And what else? So I came here, and I'm not regretting, because I met wonderful ladies. I'm on the process of selecting one person for my life.
What would you recommend to the guys who are sitting there right now on a couch, writing letters? What would you recommend them to do?
Well, my first recommendation for whoever is sitting in the couch writing letters, come here and experience the social, and see the ladies face to face and talk to them, get to know them, so you can have a first-hand experience. Then you never know who is going to be your future wife, you know. Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
No, thank you. Absolutely.
And thank you for sharing that with the guys. It's very important for guys to know what's going on. How is the socials? Because someone don't know what the tour is, and someone is don't know how to come even.
Yeah. Okay.
But thank you. For coming.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I want to tell you, all the people here, especially you, Anna, you're fantastic, and Yana, and everybody, Diana, everyone is like, I don't have to mention everybody, but everyone is absolutely fantastic. They help you, they encourage you to get maximum days, talk to the ladies, and they'll help you in every situation, including a stays, comfortable, and Ukrainian food is fantastic.
guys, welcome back to another podcast. It's good to see you. So today we're gonna talk about international dating and marriage. So send in all your questions. I'll be happy to answer it. Of course, let's start talking about our upcoming group tours. We have Cartagena tour starting in 10 days. There's plenty of time to make a reservation, book a flight. Flight's not expensive right now, so you can get there for $300-400 probably, depending where you live, of course, round trip, and can go and meet the beautiful ladies. Cebu, Philippines, May 22nd. I'm sure it's going to be another great Philippine tour. Ladies are super nice. Everybody speaks English. Philippines is a very beautiful country. I guess it's a place to go. In Bangkok, May 29th. We still have some spots left for that tour as well. We do get so many engagements from Bangkok. It's technically not the most popular tour, but we do get a lot of engagements and percentages of how many people go and how many get engaged and get married. So something to think about. And of course, we have a Mexico City tour, June 5th. We haven't had a tour to Mexico City for a while, so it's a great opportunity to go there and meet the ladies. We just had the Shanghai tour that ended just about few days ago. If you guys haven't been on a previous webcast, you missed a great opportunity to meet our Shenzhen staff and ask you questions about the tour. Shanghai was again, but we're still talking about it. Was great. We did 3 socials instead of 2 like we normally do. It was a smaller socials, but guys like that concept because they got more time to talk to each lady, get to know them better. So maybe, I don't know, we might do the same concept for upcoming Shenzhen tour. So we also have a Shenzhen tour in the end of June, if I'm not mistaken. So guys, yeah, so both tours are great. We're probably gonna do another Shanghai tour. I'm just not sure if we're gonna do one before the end of the year or not, but definitely gonna do another one next year. So again, something to think about. And ladies are also very motivated. They're traveling to Shanghai from all over the place, from Beijing, from Shenzhen, from Guangzhou. So paying for their own travel. See, in other countries where we go, usually for ladies traveling to meet the man, guys paying, kind of given. China was the only exception to it. In most of the cases, ladies were just fine paying for their own flight because they're so, they're so excited to come to those events and meet you guys and find future husband. So yeah, so again, we're gonna have some footage from that social, not today. We still need to process it, but probably next Monday we'll be able to give you some of great views of Shanghai and that tour. Of course, next week we're also gonna show you a little bit of Ukrainian tour that also recently ended. Anna from Odessa is gonna be doing that webcast. So if you have any questions about traveling, in the most current situation about traveling to Ukraine, she definitely will be the right person to ask. And of course, guys, I want to remind you about our upcoming seminar in Los Angeles. April 19th. So guys, if you're somewhere in California, it's definitely worth the drive. You gotta go. You're gonna meet John and Tanya in person. You're gonna meet some clients that been taking our tours in the past, so they can share their experience. So it's about 4 or 5 hour event. It's all free. So just RSVP for that seminar so we can save you a spot. Yeah, so it'd be great. So make sure you go. And in the future, hopefully near future, we're gonna be posting new seminars. We're considering what cities we should do it. So also you can send us suggestions. Like if you want John and Tanya go to your city and meet them there, send us suggestions based on how many votes we get. We're gonna go there. We're gonna do more seminars this year. It's very, very exciting. And guys, of course, we're gonna have some testimonial footage for you from Ukraine. So let's watch that and get on with your questions.
Hi, Brian.
Hello, Anna.
I'm so happy to see you today with flowers.
It's from your advice. It's wonderful.
You're going on a date, obviously.
Yes, I'm very excited to go out on a second date.
On a second date already.
Yes.
Who is this lady? She was on your initial list, or you met her on a social?
She was on my initial list, and she came to the social. We met and we hit it off, and it was just absolutely amazing.
Tell me about social. How did you like the social? And
The socials were a very good time. If I were to go back and give myself advice, I would say it's a lot more work than you think. And no matter what I'd say to myself,
that's probably good advice for the guys.
it's pretty intense, but at the same time, it's just a great experience, great life experience.
So you came on the tour first. It was your first time.
This
first
is
trip.
yes, my first time.
And how long you were on a website before?
About a year and a half, 2 years.
About a year and a half, 2 years. So you've been corresponding, observing. What was your game plan?
I emailed back and forth here and there. Then I actually love the fact that on the website it mentions only correspond so much before you go on a tour. I took that advice, and I'm glad I did.
So a year and a half letter writing, and then 2 socials, 1 meeting with a girl, and it's second date already.
Yes.
So obviously it's better to come and meet than to write letters.
Oh, absolutely. It's not even close.
How you decided to come to Ukraine? Because we have the military time right now. We are having the war, and I know not a lot of guys will actually make that decision, and we actually don't recommend as a U.S. embassy, don't come to Ukraine because it's not safe. How you made this decision?
I made the decision because I've been on the site for a year and a half, 2 years, and I knew what's been going on in Ukraine. I tried to look at other countries. I was like, okay, let's go here, let's go there. But there was just something about the Ukraine that drove me. And I woke up one day, logged on, and saw the letter that the tour is going on. And it felt like the universe was just speaking to me.
It wasn't university, it's our producers. Now we're going to call them universe team. Tell me, how was the trip here? I know that your trip was horrible here. You got here like through the rocks and...
The trip was tough. My first plane got canceled. Then I had to do a train and a plane, or a train and then a bus. The bus ride was very difficult. Even before I got here, I was happy I made the trip because I met some of the kindest people who didn't speak English. My credit card didn't work. I wanted a bottle of water, and they bought a complete stranger from a different country water. That just, it amazed me.
How is the Kiev? How do you like the Kiev, the girls on the streets? How the country looks like for you right now? Do you feel that there is a war actually going on?
I do not feel that there's war going on. You can kind of sense it in some of the women, but they still feel so positive, and they're looking forward to it. And just the pride they take in their country is just, it's something that, again, that just, it blows me away.
So nice to hear that. And yes, again, we don't recommend you to come to Ukraine. And if you can meet the ladies outside of Ukraine, that's our recommendation for right now. But yeah, we made it. We did a social. The first social was, what, 150 girls showed up?
Yes.
How did you feel first day?
I felt exhausted. It felt like after a great football game. It was tired yet excited at the same time. It was just, it's a new experience, and that's what I love in my life, is experiencing new things, and that was definitely a new situation.
The second day was a little more quiet. We had less girls, but you had more time to talk to each girl that you like. So which one was better for you?
It's hard to say a better. They were different ways of good. The first one, I was able to meet more, so I was able to set it up for the rest of the week. The second one was a little bit more intimate, and I don't want to say the quality was better, but the connections I made were closer than the first day.
Yeah, because you had a little more time to talk to each girl, right? And probably because you didn't know what to expect on the first social, but you went through the first social and you already knew what's going to happen, so you were more relaxed.
Absolutely. With less women, it seemed like much easier, because I was expecting another day like the day before.
And you had your interpreter during the whole time on the first day and in the second one. There was the same interpreter?
It was the same interpreter, which was incredibly helpful. She knew some, so she could answer some questions and save some time since there were so many women going back and forth. It just was great, and she's a wonderful person.
Thank you. And let's go back to that lady that you're going on a date right now.
Yes.
So if you don't mind, what is the age range?
I'm 46 years old. She is 31.
Okay, 15 years, as we always recommend, guys, not more than 20, and 15 probably right there, perfect one.
That was pretty close to my limit that I wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm. What she does for the life? Does she know where you live? Did you talk about that? Your lifestyle style, is it like working for her?
She's interior designer. She knows that I'm in real estate. Just the passion she had was amazing. It was wonderful to meet somebody who could match my energy, because a lot of times I'm told to bring it down. But this lady I left with I still have the smile on my face.
Yeah, and I can imagine smile on your face after the second date and everything gonna go well. It's gonna be even more smiley.
That's what I'm hoping.
And okay, everything will work. You guys gonna hit, everything will go perfect. What is your next steps? Like, what are you planning next?
If I were to be able to plan it exactly the way I would want to, is we have this second date that goes unbelievably. I go back home. If we don't have time to do a third date, which I hope we do, we correspond back and forth for 3, maybe 4 months. Then I come back, meet her again, make sure that the connection is still there, and then move on to the next step of finding my wife and living out my dream of being a father.
Oh my. Tell me another thing. For the guys who are still sitting and writing for someone year and a half, someone 10 years, writing letters, any suggestions for them? And we have tours to different countries. It's like you like girls from Ukraine. We have guys who like girls from Colombia, Mexico, and we didn't stop those tours, but they still keep corresponding.
Ukraine, what it is, and it was funny, one of the things I've always liked to live by is I've heard when you're towards the end of your life, it's you regret the things that you didn't do, not the things that you did do. And when I spoke with John, he actually told me it's a Walt Whitman quote, and he opens all of the seminars with that. So again, that's kind of like the universe saying, Brian, you need to do this.
So for all the guys, they should do it.
Oh, absolutely. It's the time of your life. It's just my life. I don't want to get too ahead in advance, but this is a life-changing experience in an incredibly positive way. Not just meeting women and getting more confidence, but learning more about cultures and just the differences of it.
Thank you very much. I really wish you luck on your second date. And if you need anything, tell me. Sorry, I'm jumping from the sentence to another sentence, from subject to subject. The girls are in-house, right? You have assistant here in the house. Are they helpful?
Oh, I couldn't do this without you guys. My matchmaker, my lamb, has been absolutely amazing. She jokes with me, gives me a hard time, which I enjoy. You have been absolutely unbelievable.
Thank you, John. I need a raise.
If you think you are doing the right thing, you might be, but you need to listen to the people who do this for a living, and that's what it is. I listen to you guys, and you have never steered me the wrong way.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope it's going to be the same way all the time. And for right now, I just want to wish you luck. I really know that you came here for a reason. You jumped on the plane, came here. It didn't scare you away, nothing. Even that bus ride, air alerts, everything. Thank you for that. And I'm just wishing you really, really to be happy and find the one that gonna keep your house warm always. And you guys gonna have a great family.
And I would like to thank you guys, and hopefully I meet a wife, and I would love to be able to invite you guys to the wedding.
Oh yeah, we listen to that all the time. Yeah. We heard that so many times. But now it's recorded. Just
Absolutely. At the very least, I'll put you on the registration, so you have to get me a gift.
okay, thank you. You see how it end up always? Mm-hmm. Thank you. I think it's 2 minutes to your date.
Yes, I better get late. I don't want to be
Better
late for
don't
my
get
beautiful
late.
woman.
The lady can be late in Ukraine, you know it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can get late. Sometimes we can be late for half an hour, even if we're ready. We just want to see if men's still waiting for us.
Understandable.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, guys, and more Ukrainian footage is coming up over the next few weeks, so stay tuned. You'll see the most recent videos from the socials, from Ukraine, and you get to talk to Anna that you just saw on the screen. She can answer all your questions about traveling to Ukraine. All right, let's get to your questions. Dawn says, hi Anna, happy birthday coming up, so how did you know? But yes, technically my birthday is on Friday, so thank you so much. But yeah, how did you know? And Jeremy also says Anna must be turning 25. Yeah, somewhere in, yeah, something like that. Polly asks, are the conditions in Ukraine worsening or improving? Well, definitely not improving. So, you know, if you ask if it's safe traveling to Ukraine now compared to 3 months ago, well, just depends where you go. And so Kiev is still, you know, more or less okay because they have, you know, the best missile defense in Kiev because it's a capital. So of course they want to protect government, the White House. So they, you know, they're pretty good about it, especially, you know, city center. That's where we stay. So that area is, you know, is better, but not necessarily recommend to go to residential areas because. Yeah, they do get hit mostly by drone attacks and yeah, but also drone attacks for the most of it happen, you know, after hours, after dark. So you should be in your hotel anyway after dark because there is a curfew hour. So yeah, take that in consideration. Other cities on the eastern border, they do get hit a lot. Like you probably have heard of missile hit on Sumy. I believe like 35 people died, and just was a couple of days ago. So there's, you know, in other cities get a lot of hits too. So don't go to eastern border for sure. So if you go, you know, go to Kiev, well, Odessa, but yeah, but I would not travel any further than that. Let's see. Vince, how would a Ukrainian woman react to a man who hasn't dated a lot and in his 40s? Well, she will react just fine. I mean, first of all, she's not gonna ask for your dating history. I mean, she'll ask, you know, have you been married before? Which I'm assuming you have not. And, you know, that's, you know, she'll ask, of course, why, you know, why not? What happened? You know, you can tell her, you know, whatever the reason is. If the guy is in his 50s or 60s and, you know, he answers, yeah, never been married, then ladies get a little concerned because, well, you know, you're a grown-up man, so what happened? So they definitely want to hear the story. Why not? So I do get that, especially like when I work with executive clients, and pretty much all of them are workaholics, so they just didn't have time to focus on their personal life. So yes, and every time I have to explain it to ladies, yeah, well, this happened, so nothing wrong with the guy, he's good. But, you know, in your 40s, you know, I don't think it will be much of an issue. And again, how will they know if you haven't dated a lot? It's just maybe your own behavior will show that. You can always talk to, you know, our staff, to interpreter who's with you at the socials, because she's going to be observing you and see how you're talking to ladies. If there's some corrections needed to be made or some, you know, questions not to ask, she'll tell you like, hey, do you want to, you know, talk a little bit less or talk a little bit more? Or you probably don't want to ask a question, woman, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And don't make her feel like she's at the job interview or wife interview. So, you know, those some corrections that, you know, they will recommend. So obviously you don't have to listen to it, but it's recommended to pay attention to our staff suggestions. They've been doing it a long time. They know what they're doing, and they can make really good suggestion because their job to make you successful and help you to find your future wife. Ethan, how many guys actually find love on the Ukraine tours? Well, thousands and thousands. I don't have the exact number. You know, we've been around for 30 years. Actually, this year we celebrate our 30 years anniversary. And pretty much almost all this time, we've been going to Ukraine, on Russia too. Russia was the first destination. That's where it all started. So we've been going to Eastern Europe a lot, and yeah, so many people met on group tours, and individual tours, individual dates, various ways to meet ladies. Got engaged, got married, have kids now, very happy. So yeah. I will have a few guys that they got married, and then some like the wife will pass away, they would come back and we'll start the search again. Like, well, it worked the first time, why it wouldn't the second time? So that happens, sometimes too. Marshall, gender roles still traditional in Ukraine. Seems like most of the ladies are working a lot and divorced or never married. Well, that has not, they're working a lot, being divorced or never married has really nothing to do with traditional, not traditional values. It's just demographic situation in Ukraine. For the most of it, yes, Ukrainian ladies are still very traditional, and they want the man to be a man, act like a man, be a head of household, and again, working a lot. They working a lot because they have to. They prefer not to, but if a man is not able to provide for the family, and she and the kids still need to eat something, so yeah, and so sometimes women work 2-3 jobs to take care of the family. Again, not because they they really feel like they need to work 3 jobs, but because economic situation is, especially now, is difficult in Ukraine. And imagine there was war going on, it didn't really help to create workspace, work opportunities, and also a lot of men right now fighting in the war. So maybe and the war also broke a lot of families apart, because it's been going on for 3 years. So some ladies relocated to Europe, but for the most of it, their husbands, boyfriends, fiancés, they couldn't leave the country, because males between 18 to 60, at 18 I think, or 20 to 60, but that age bracket, they cannot leave Ukraine, because they need to either serve in the military, or they can be drafted in the military. So as soon as they get to the border, they're gonna turn them around, like no, go back. So women, children, who left in the beginning of war or shortly after, and they were thinking, well, we're just gonna do it for the safety reasons for a little bit, became refugees in Europe, but war keeps going and going, and they haven't seen those boyfriends and fiancés for 3 years now. So of course not too many relationships can survive that. And also again, men being fighting in the war, dying, being hurt, that also didn't help the demographic situation. So even before the war, it was pretty bad. It was 55% of women versus 45% of men. Now imagine how many men Ukraine lost over the last 3 years. So that situation is even worse. So good luck finding a husband nowadays. So that's why women has to consider other options and dating people from outside of Ukraine. Look, how fluent in English are most Ukrainian women? I heard someone say they all take English as kids, so why aren't all speaking English at the socials? Alright, so I'm sure when you went to school, you probably were taking like Spanish or French or second language in high school. Do you speak French or Spanish fluently just because you took some classes back in the day and you haven't practiced it in 10, 15, 20 years? So of course, whatever they studied in schools, they forgot all about it. Language is something you need to practice. If you don't speak on a daily basis or at least weekly basis, you forget all about it. Of course, they don't need to speak English in Ukraine; they speak Ukrainian. So yeah. So yes, of course, they cannot be just all of a sudden switch the mode. Like, okay, 20 years ago, yeah, I remember this, and now I'm gonna start speaking fluent English. No. So they do need interpreters. About 30-35% of ladies will speak English, some better, some worse, but conversational enough. But 70% of the ladies at the social will need interpreter. And again, which is not the worst thing to happen, because you know, you could use interpreter's help because she's going to be your matchmaker, so she's going to be giving you a good feedback on your interaction with ladies. And you know, learning English is not much of a problem. You know, once the two of you in a relationship, once she feels it's going in the direction of engagement, she's going to be moving to the States or whatever country you live. Then she's gonna start taking classes. Well, you have to pay for the classes, but it's not very expensive. So she can start taking classes, preparing herself, and you're gonna speak in English, you know, to her daily. Yes, she's gonna use the, possibly you're gonna use like the translation, like Google Translate or whatever app you prefer. But she still will start picking it up. It's, you know, it's all about motivation, because you don't want to learn the language, you know, put all the efforts, especially when you work in 2-3 jobs. She's like, should I start learning English for the off chance, 1 in a million chance I'll marry an American? Like, well, no, it's not something you're gonna be doing. So yeah, but especially when she comes here and she's gonna be surrounded by native speakers, then it will come to her. In 2-3 months, she'll be speaking well enough, you know, for you to have a decent conversation, and of course it will improve within a year. So guys, don't let it discourage you and it's like, well, I want to date only ladies who speak English. I understand communication is important, but also English is something you can learn. You cannot you know, learn other things like personal qualities, and the chemistry between you, you know, is between two of you is important. So if you meet, you know, the right person that checks all other boxes, you have great connection, you have the same view of life, and you're just happy together, well, then maybe, you know, just worth the effort and you know, help her with English. Maybe you'll learn something in Ukrainian also. You can, you know, show her proof that you're also serious about it and learn some Ukrainian. You don't have to, you know, start speaking it fluently, but few phrases here and there wouldn't hurt either. And another question from Sean, which is actually adds to the previous question, is Google Translate enough to build a real relationship with any of the ladies? I did see it a lot. I know a lot of guys that have been in contact after the tour. Yeah, they started dating ladies that didn't speak English, didn't stop them, and, you know, now they're engaged or married already. So Google Translate is really not that bad. I would not recommend it for the first date, you know, because it can be way off, and it's important on the first date to communicate well, to make sure you understand each other. There's nothing lost in translation. But once, you know, if you make a joke, Google Translate probably not gonna be perfect at translating jokes, so many gonna be just lost. So on the first date, yes, please use interpreter. It's good investment in your future. So you know that $25 is just not gonna break a bank for you, I'm sure, but it can, you know, bring you closer to a happy relationship. And then yes, you can use Viber. Viber has built-in translations, you know, so messages automatically will be translated, and it's very, very easy to use. There are those headphones, $50 on Amazon. You can buy AI translation earbuds. You know, well, you can buy more expensive, we can be better, I'm sure, but, you know, at least I know some people that use the $50 ones, and they work just fine. You can even for a lot of languages, you can download the offline versions, extra fee for that, but I don't think they have Ukrainian, but they do have Russian, they have Spanish, so depending on what country you go in. So all you need is just you connect it to your smartphone, and I have one of those. I tested it recently. It was okay, because yeah, I need that for, you know, some of my upcoming trips, so it was fairly decent. I just put it on, I turned the TV on, and it was doing the in-ear translation. It was, I would say, about 80% accurate. So not ideal, but good enough. Okay, now let's see. Dog is asking, are Ukrainian women looking to marry quickly? I would not say so. I mean, sometimes it happens, but it's more the exception than the rule, because courtship process in Ukraine normally longer than, let's say, Philippines. It's just different culture. First of all, ladies, for the most of it, a little bit more reserved. It's just a historical thing, and it takes longer for two of you to get to know each other, for her to start trusting you, and because, you know, she's putting her life in your hands. She's gonna be leaving everything she has, so, you know, her job, her family, and relocating to another country. So she needs to make sure you're truly the reliable man, and you're gonna take care of her in so many ways. And because love is love, it's all great, but also, you don't want to quit everything you have and then, go to another country to find out that you're absolutely not compatible, you have nothing in common, you have different life views, and 3 days later, you go back to your country, it's, and you already quit your job, you're not gonna find enough, next one very, very fast, so it's a lot of risk ladies have to take for this. So that's why they prefer to take time and get to know men. But with that being said, fiancé visa nowadays takes about a year, so you can start the paperwork fairly in the beginning of the process. I mean, date for a month or two, whatever, and then file the paperwork. And by the time her visa is approved, well, then you already know each other really, really well, because I'm assuming you're still gonna be seeing each other within that year. A lot of people prefer to take trips together, go somewhere. So yeah. Nelson, are more Ukrainian women trying to leave the country by dating foreigners? Well, it's not about leaving the country. Ladies that wanted to leave the country already done it, because there are fairly decent refugee programs in Germany and other countries. So if sole motivation was just getting out of Ukraine, well, they're already out of Ukraine. People who stayed in Ukraine, they stayed there for a reason. Some for economical reasons, some because again they have family and. So it's not about getting out of the country, it's finding a good life partner, and it's harder and harder nowadays. Okay, J-Boy, can you help on dress code for social? Summer in Ukraine, please. I'm considering nice jeans, nice shirt, nice jacket, no tie. Is this acceptable or too dressed down? Thank you in advance. No, that should work. I mean, the ties and formal suit is not required for sure. I mean, men in suit always looks better, and ladies like it. But yeah, just wear something you're comfortable in. If you don't wear suits on a not daily basis, but fairly often, you're just gonna be, not feeling right in it. You feel like the tie is choking you. It will be distracting you from dating, and just you need to be comfortable. Not to the point that you show up in a wrinkled t-shirt and stretched out Walmart jeans. Yeah, well, that's not gonna fly. But whatever you're wearing, obviously make sure it's clean clothes, nicely ironed. You guys, they can do it. If you don't know how to iron, they can do it in the hotel for you. You just give it to a maid, and she'll take care of that for you for a little extra fee. So look nice. Make sure fresh haircut, it's all trimmed, you see, best cologne. So as long as, you do that, you will be just fine. And again, keep in mind that there is air conditioning in the building, so it's not like, you're gonna be sitting in the room when it's 90 degrees and you're just gonna be sweating there. No, it's pretty nice inside. They do have air conditioning. Alright, Jeremy, I'm curious how many minutes are spent at each table. Seems like it's really fast. Well, it really depends how big is the social and where we do it. So like, for example, in Ukraine, it's not a speed dating, you just mingling, go from, from person to person, and so there is no set time. So yeah, you go sit down on the table. When you're done, and you go to the next one. Of course, it's better not to sit at one table for 30 minutes, because other guys will get pissed off at you, because they might be willing to talk to the ladies at the table you're sitting. So when that happens, usually, the pissed off guys come to me like, oh, this, Bob guy is sitting there for 30 minutes. Can you move him? Like, go to Bob, like politely tell him, yeah, hey, Bob, time to move. Let's get up. So it's not very structured in Ukraine. Other countries, it is more of a speed dating. There is more of a timeline. Like in previous tour I've been, the China one, I'm trying to remember, it was very, very fast, because we had a lot of ladies showing up, and also a lot of guys too, so it was very busy. So we had to do for 7 minutes for the table, and there was 7-8 ladies at each table too, so it was pretty difficult, and you just go from table to table to table, so there was 13-14 tables, so you're just exhausted by the time you get to table number 10, so it's a lot of work, and yeah, guys were just totally drained by the end of the social. But again, the good thing, you get to talk to the ladies, you get to meet everybody in the room, because In Ukraine, I get that sometimes, like, oh yeah, there was a girl I wanted to talk to social, but I was too shy to approach her. You have your interpreter with you, just have your interpreter go get it here for you. So once the lady becomes available, she's not talking to anyone, then your interpreter will come over and say, hey, this guy, this Nick guy wants to meet you, let me, come over with me and just introduce you, help you break the ice, and you just talk. And you make sure you exchange phone numbers at the social, please. Especially again, places like Ukraine, because we have so many ladies coming to the social, and if you say, hey, there was Irina in a red dress, can you find, yeah, she was nice, I talked to her, but didn't get her number, can you find her for me? Well, there was about 40 Irinas at that social, it's a common name, and we don't know which one, so we're not going to give you 40 phone numbers for different Irinas, of course. So you're lucky if the staff knows the lady, but in so many cases they don't know all of them personally. In other countries, yeah, in Colombia or Philippines, it will be easier because social is a bit smaller, so it's a little bit more manageable. Yeah, but not for Ukraine. More questions, guys. Bear with me for a second. Second. So it's just when new questions come in, it all just drops to the bottom, so I need to find which one I answered last. Albert, has travel into Ukraine has been expedited at all versus 2024? Nope, same process, the ground transportation, bus or train, nothing changed. Same way, same timing. And I mean, that's how it can be expedited. Train is not going to go any faster. It is what it is. It's a set schedule, and also cars cannot fly, at least at this time. So also has to, go through customs and stuff. So it's the same timing. And hopefully, eventually, Ukraine will be open for the flights, but there is not in the foreseeable future. Not until the war is over, and even after that, they're probably going to wait a little bit to make sure it definitely stays safe for the planes to fly over there. I mean, they've been discussing, even, as they were thinking about open Lviv airport, but I've heard it 2 years ago, and here we are, they're still talking about it, but it's really not safe enough. Plus, Lviv is not going to do much good because, if you're going to Kiev and Odessa, it's still another 9 hours train from Lviv to Kiev, or 8 hours, but whatever, yeah. So it's the same thing. You can fly to Krakow, and so just Krakow is not that far. All right. 40 English is very common in Ukraine, so don't worry about that. Look. Well, I would say it's more common for the younger ladies, yes, again, we say not fresh out of school, but they graduated recently and they're more exposed, to Western culture, but, for the ladies in their 40s, 50s, they haven't studied English in 20 years, if that, I mean, maybe they were studying French or German in school, so not necessarily that was English, so yeah, for older generation, it's a little bit more difficult. Charlie, hi Anna, how you doing? I had noticed in the weekly matches for last week of April 9, Wednesday, there was no new matches. The reason for this technical difficulty, I really don't know. Sorry, I cannot answer that question. I know we post new profiles every Wednesday. Maybe there's just there's in those profiles that we match, probably maybe it's just nobody who would match your criteria. But I mean, I really don't know if it was a technical issue or just no match in that batch of ladies we posted that week. Melissa, I'm going to LA seminar. Well, that's wonderful. That's exciting. Floyd, what is it like to marry a Ukrainian woman and move her abroad? Well, it's going to be interesting, challenging process in so many ways, because when a person, doesn't matter what nationality, is relocating from one country to another, it's never really that simple. She would need to learn a lot about local culture. She would need to adjust. She would need to get her whole new set of friends and connections. You would have to help her a lot, so you would have to be prepared to spend a lot of time with her, because in the beginning you're gonna be her only source of source of everything, communications, entertainment. So she's gonna rely on you 100%. So you can just say, oh yeah, I have my family members that can help me too. Well, yeah, but I mean, you don't know how they're gonna get along, and plus also, well, they don't speak her language, so she would with you she's gonna be comfortable because you're married. Them, she just to her they're family, but she just met them. They speak different language, and it's gonna be hard for her to adjust to. So she would need to find people who speak her language and establish some friendship. So yeah, it's gonna be a long journey. I think the first year is gonna be pretty stressful in so many ways. Immigration paperwork, she's not gonna have her her papers as far as like social security. So work permit, she won't be able to go to work for quite some time. Even if she wants to, if she speaks English and she wants to go work, she's not gonna have her work permit for a while. So yeah. So, but if you survive first year, and that everything should be fine. So just be prepared to support her a lot. Luther, are dating sites with Ukrainian women legit or mostly scams? There are a lot of different websites, so I'm not gonna say for the entire anything for the entire internet. I mean, first of all, I don't know. I don't use other sites, and I only can speak for what we do. We've been around for 30 years. We help thousands and thousands of people to find each other, and that's a wonderful opportunity. So, I can only share my experience. Paul, can you recommend translation device to help? Paul, as I mentioned, there are some headphones you can buy on Amazon. Just read the reviews, find the ones that will work better for you, and Corey, I met my wife in June, and she spoke no English. I enrolled her in English classes at the university, went back in November, and she spoke good English. See, it's all about motivation, and again, she knew you guys gonna be serious, you're gonna be moving forward, so she was extra motivated to start speaking English. So from June to November, see, it's all it took. Sean, how do you separate sincere Ukrainian women from those who just playing the long game? Well, guys, you can usually you can tell if a woman is not into you pretty fast, especially if if she starts asking for gifts right away, like it's expensive, not like just some cute little gift, that's one thing, or flowers, just that's to be expected. But if she's like asking, well, can I have the iPhone on a first or second date, well, that's your answer. She's not interested in you, she's trying to benefit from this quickly financially, and you just tell her no, and you move forward with that. Go meet other ladies. If you have some doubts, you can also, if you have a hard time to read the signs, body language, and all that, then just talk to your interpreter. Like, do you think she likes me? And also, if you can see if your relationship progressing. If you've been on 6 dates and she hasn't held your hand yet, well, that's probably not gonna be going anywhere. So that's your sign to give up on that and go, find the right person. No, it doesn't mean that again on the second date she's gonna be kissing you all over. No, that's also wrong expectations, because again, Ukrainian ladies are pretty reserved, so it's not gonna happen. But the relationship should be progressing, and if over time you don't see it's going somewhere, then just stop. There's plenty of ladies to meet. Eddie, is the idea that Ukrainian women are more feminine, family-oriented, just a fantasy? Oh, they're definitely very feminine. That's. I mean, again, look at the social videos. See how the ladies are dressed. All Ukrainian ladies dress very nicely. They take, beauty industry is huge in Ukraine, so women put so much attention what they wear, how they look, hair, nails, and all this. Yeah, they're very, very, very feminine and family-oriented. Yes, I mean, again, can say that 100% of Ukrainians are feminine, because we're dealing with human beings, but I would say 70-80% of the ladies are. They want to have a family. That's that's the ultimate goal. Excuse me. We're getting a lot of questions today. Very, very good. Okay.
Brent, they all look like supermodels. I don't know if I can afford to date them. Well, again, ladies look great. I agree. It is important to be realistic about expectations and don't try to date supermodels. Again, there are so many beautiful ladies who are real, who are sincere, they're looking for a husband. I see it on the tours often, like, you know, there's like 2-3 super hot girls at the social. All guys want to just talk to them. You know, that's like, seriously, like you all of you 15 guys trying to chase to those 3 specific supermodels. Like, I mean, there is hundreds of ladies in this room. They're all beautiful. So just go talk to other people. Of course, I mean, yeah, and again, when you try to date like supermodels, you know, they are for most likely high maintenance, and it will be pretty expensive. That's why it's, you know, you can just meet a nice, good-looking girl, and it will be totally different experience. Daniel, I have been trying to find the name, but there's a device that takes spoken words and translate it to chosen language. Yeah, well, again, you can use those AI headphones. Just again, go to Amazon. There's like, when I looked, like hundreds and hundreds of them, different reviews, different pricing. So again, I don't know how it was all different. I bought one for $50. Yeah, works well enough for me. James, hopefully after I get back from July Kyiv tour, I'll be contacting her too. I guess I missed something there. So, Daniel, are you all sure they all allow foreigners into USA right now and they can be deported back to their home country? Well, so like nobody can guarantee anything in this world, right? Especially when immigration situation in this country is a bit unpredictable now. But I mean, the lady is going to be coming here. They're going to be coming on fiancé visas or spousal visas, whatever, you know, visa you decide to do. And there shouldn't be no issues with their paperwork, so everything should be fine. So, Cody, no issues with green cards. Are allowed in queue and being processed through the process. Yeah, just, you know, yeah, can be little delays here and there, but everything is going as scheduled as far as issuing visas, adjustment of status, and all that. Ukraine Dave, are you really 25? Promise me you will eat a piece of cake. Happy birthday. I was 25 once in my life, but let's stick to it. I like the 25 idea. Cody, I married my wife in 2019 when I brought her over here. Fiancé visa is not going to raise a red flag. She just has to follow the process and there'll be no issues. Exactly. I agree. Just do the paperwork the right way. Try not to cut corners somewhere. You know, try to get a tourist visa and get married on a tourist visa, because that can really go sideways, especially nowadays. I mean, even before, they didn't really like that happening. You know, they did deny a lot of cases, especially when a lady would come here and people would get married like, you know, 30 days later. They're like, well, you know, you got married that fast, so she came here with intention to get married, so it's a violation of the immigration process. Okay, should have just done the proper visa and it would have been fine, but you decided to cut corner. Now, you know, and, you know, she's gonna be deported. Yes, so don't try to do that. Just because some people, you know, managed successfully do it, you know, some years ago, I would not try it in 2025. Cody says, first year of marriage is the hardest because of all the documents and isolation she will feel. Yes, again, within a year she's gonna start finding friends that speak her language. It's gonna get a little easier for her. She's gonna be getting her driver's license, start getting around, maybe attending some classes in community college or whatever, you know, learn English that way, get her first job, wherever the job is, still can establish some connection. J-Boy, hi Anna, do you know a number of ladies that typically come to socials in Kyiv and Odessa? How many attended last socials there? Thank you for answering my question. Was like 150. You can ask Anna next Monday. She can tell you exactly because she has all the documents. But I believe she told me it was about 150 at each of the socials. On mine was, well, because November a little smaller usually, so for that we had 100 in Kiev. Actually, one social 100 and the other one, so we had two socials in Kiev. Yeah. Already forgot. So 100 and 110 in November. Jeremy, if she starts asking for gifts right away, it means she really loves you. Yeah, totally go for that. So don't try to buy somebody's love and affection. You just cannot do it. Or I mean, she's gonna be with you for as long as you keep buying her things, and eventually you're gonna run out of money. So it's important to find the person who will truly love you for who you are. So yeah, but again, it's important to give some gifts, but it doesn't have to be anything like huge. You know, it's not a fur coat, it's not expensive vacations. Don't try to impress a lady and buy her. Women will also, you know, serious women will not like it, like, oh, he's trying to buy me, you know. So show her, you know, you care and you wanna, you know, you appreciate her, but just, everything needs to be in moderation. Bruce, how much is lost in translation, emotional, cultural, and intellectually, in this kinds of cross-language relationship? Well, in the beginning, a lot, but more people get to know each other, easier it gets. So it's not, you know, even if they still don't speak the same language, there are still language issues. But when you already know your partner, then you just go, okay, it's not what he meant, or it's not what she meant, because you just know better than that, and you don't get upset about things, and you know, it's okay, this is not a cultural thing, it's just my specific partner thing. So in the beginning it's difficult because just two people getting to know each other. Even if you're trying to get to know someone who, you know, in your hometown, you meet a girl at the bar tomorrow and you're going to be going on dates, there is only so much you can learn, you know, in the first, whatever, 5-10 dates, but things get better after a while. Ulysses, one of my dates during Euroclub in Kiev, she said, wanna take a walk? We walk a few blocks. Eventually she insists we go to the mall. Well, we just, again, depend on what, you know, you can go to the mall, you know, you can go to the mall and eat ice cream. You know, if she starts walking you to every store and like hinting like, yeah, get me this, okay, that's, you can tell her, you know what, I'm not very comfortable with that, you know, I'm just barely know you. So, you know, and if she's still insistent, then again, you end it. It's not a good match for you, part ways. You know, go to the mall, have a cup of coffee, maybe it's a cold day and she just want to go to the mall. But sometimes women do like window shop and just, so sometimes the women test man too to see his reaction, and you know, she might not need, you know, she can look at a pair of socks and she doesn't need those socks, but she wants to see if a man offers to buy it for her. Okay, you can buy a pair of socks, okay? It's not, that would not be a big deal or red flag. She just wants to see that, why is this man gonna take care of me in the future? I mean, maybe not right now, but when we're a couple again, because she's gonna be relying on you financially, and like, well, if you're very, very cheap, she's like, oh, I don't want to be married to a cheap guy. So yeah, so it's also can be a test on the lady's side, but if it's something small, again, if we're talking about, you know, $10-15 worth of gift, go for it. It's not a big deal. But iPhone, fur coats, Gucci purse, you know, all this happy stuff, absolutely, and no, don't ever do that. All right, let me see if I have any more questions. No, I guess that was it. Well, guys, thank you so much for sending all those really cool questions today. It was very, very interesting. Really appreciate that. Thank you for birthday wishes. Also appreciate that. And I'm gonna be gone for well, months and a half or something like this. So you're gonna see a lot of Anna from Odessa. She's gonna bring her wonderful insight on Ukrainian dating. So don't forget to tune in next Monday. And of course, you're gonna see more of John. And I'm gonna miss you all, guys, and I'll see you in a while.